Have you ever wondered why, no matter how hard you try, you still feel invisible to women? Why some men seem to have it all: confidence, charm, respect, while others struggle, constantly confused, anxious, or rejected? The truth isn't in what women want, it's in what men are missing. Today, we're going to uncover the hidden reason modern men fail in love and relationships, and why becoming the man you were meant to be is the only way to finally stop struggling and start attracting the love you deserve. The world has changed, relationships have changed, and expectations have changed, yet one thing remains constant. Every man still wants to be valued, respected, and understood by a woman. But modern men today are silently struggling, not because they are weak, not because they lack potential, but because the blueprint of masculinity handed to them has become blurred. A man today stands between two worlds: one world telling him to be soft, expressive, and emotional, and the other world demanding him to be strong, independent, and stoic. This internal conflict has created confusion, insecurity, and emotional exhaustion. And when a man carries this inside him, he naturally struggles in relationships because a woman doesn't respond to confusion, she responds to clarity. The real reason modern men struggle with women is not that women have become too strong. It's that men have forgotten their own natural strength, not physical strength, psychological strength, the strength of direction, the strength of purpose, the strength of self-control. A woman doesn't fall in love with a man because he is perfect. She falls in love with a man because he knows who he is. Today, most men don't know who they are. The world has distracted them. Social media tells them what success should look like. Society tells them how to behave. Rejection tells them they are not enough. Every mistake becomes a wound. Every heartbreak becomes a fear. Slowly, a man begins to lose trust in himself. And when a man doesn't trust himself, how will any woman trust him? A woman can feel a man's inner state without him saying a single word. If his heart is restless, she feels it. If he is insecure, she senses it. If he is lost, she steps back. Women don't pull away from men because men are bad. Women pull away because they sense a man who is disconnected from his core, a man who seeks validation instead of respect, a man who reacts instead of leading, a man who wants love but is afraid to give direction. Women are naturally attracted to emotional leadership, not control. Leadership. A man who knows where he's going, a man who knows what he stands for, a man who doesn't collapse under pressure, a man who speaks with clarity, acts with intention, and moves with confidence. This is the energy that pulls a woman toward him. But modern men have been told to fear their masculine instincts. They've been told ambition is toxic, boundaries are rude, leadership is controlling, discipline is harsh. So men suppress their natural qualities. They become overly careful, overly apologetic, overly emotional. And in the process, they lose polarity, the natural magnetic attraction that pulls a feminine woman toward a masculine man. Without polarity, relationships become flat. A woman starts to feel unsafe, uncertain, and emotionally disconnected. Another reason men struggle today is because they misunderstand female psychology. Men try to impress women with money, looks, or social status. But a woman doesn't fall for the surface. She falls for the experience a man creates inside her. You can't buy that. You can't fake that. Women don't want a perfect man. They want a consistent man, a man who shows emotional strength instead of emotional chaos, a man who can stay calm when she is overwhelmed, a man who listens without trying to fix everything, a man who understands her emotions without losing himself in them. Modern men fail because they are trying too hard to be chosen instead of choosing themselves first. They chase, they beg, they overgive, they lower their standards, they lose their self-respect. And when a man loses self-respect, everything else collapses. A woman may like a nice guy, but she desires a man with boundaries, a man who doesn't give his energy cheaply, a man who values his time, his goals, and his emotions. When a man respects himself, a woman feels respect for him naturally. You see, women don't test men to torture them. Women test men to see if they are emotionally stable. A woman might become moody, distant, or challenging, not to break him, but to see if he cracks. A man who collapses under emotional pressure is a man she cannot trust long term. Emotional strength has nothing to do with being harsh or cold. It means being grounded, being steady, being centered. A masculine man can feel emotions deeply, but he doesn't let them control him. He responds, he doesn't react. Another struggle for modern men is emotional numbness. They grow up hearing don't cry, man up, be strong, and they suppress everything. But suppressed emotions don't disappear. They turn into anger, withdrawal, anxiety, and emotional shutdown. A woman feels this shutdown instantly. She feels like he's present physically but absent emotionally. She feels like she can't reach him. And this creates distance. At the same time, some men go to the opposite extreme. They overshare, overcry, overexpress. They don't regulate emotions. They dump emotions. And this makes a woman feel she has to become the strong one, the stable one, the grounded one. When a woman has to become the emotional rock in the relationship, attraction slowly dies. Not because she doesn't care, but because polarity shifts. She becomes masculine, he becomes feminine, and the dynamic breaks. Men also struggle because they compare themselves constantly. Every man is watching other men online, richer, stronger, taller, more attractive, more successful, and he feels like he is losing a competition that doesn't even exist. This comparison kills confidence. But a woman isn't attracted to a man because he is better than others. She's attracted to a man who is better than his old self. Growth is magnetic. Discipline is attractive. Vision is seductive. A man working on his purpose radiates an energy that no gym body, no luxury car, no fake confidence can replace. Purpose is one of the biggest missing elements in modern men's lives. A man with no direction becomes emotionally dependent on women. He seeks meaning through her instead of through himself. He clings, he overthinks, he fears losing her, and nothing turns a woman off faster than a man who has no life outside the relationship. A woman wants to enter a man's world, not become his entire world. A man with purpose is irresistible because his life has structure, his days have meaning, his mind has clarity, his heart has discipline. He doesn't chase love, he attracts it. Another reason men struggle is the fear of rejection. Men today are terrified of hearing no. Rejection destroys their confidence, so they avoid taking initiative. But masculine energy is built on initiative, taking the first step, making decisions, leading conversations, facing challenges. A man who fears rejection fears life. And if he fears life, he cannot lead a relationship. Rejection is not a sign of failure. It's a filter that removes the wrong people from your path. Modern men also struggle because their standards are unclear. They want a good woman, but they entertain anyone who gives them attention. They want respect, but they tolerate disrespect. They want loyalty, but they choose based on looks alone. They want peace, but they chase drama. When a man's standards are weak, his relationships become weak. A strong man knows what he will accept and what he won't, and he walks away from anything that threatens his mental peace. Communication is another area where men fail. Many men think communicating means explaining emotions endlessly, but real communication is honesty with clarity, saying what you mean, leading conversations, expressing needs without fear, setting boundaries with calmness, speaking with intention, not insecurity. A woman trusts a man who communicates with confidence. Modern men also struggle because they want instant results, instant love, instant commitment, instant attraction. But masculine growth is slow, steady, and disciplined. A woman takes time to trust, time to open up, time to attach emotionally. Men today rush the process, get anxious, sabotage themselves, and lose the connection. But the man who is patient, grounded, and steady becomes unforgettable. One of the deepest struggles modern men face is spiritual emptiness. They feel disconnected from themselves. They lack inner peace. They distract themselves with entertainment, casual relationships, games, addictions, constant scrolling, anything to avoid silence. But silence is where a man meets himself. A man who fears solitude fears his own power. Women are not attracted to a man who escapes himself. They're attracted to a man who confronts himself. Another truth is that modern men expect women to heal them. They want her love to fix their wounds, her words to calm their anxiety, her presence to erase their emptiness. But no woman can heal a man who refuses to heal himself. A woman can support, but she cannot save. She can love, but she cannot rebuild a man's self-worth for him. That is his work. And when a man does that inner work, when he builds discipline, purpose, direction, emotional stability, confidence, boundaries, and self-respect, something powerful happens. Women respond to him differently, not because he becomes a different person, but because he becomes his true self. His natural masculine energy returns. His mind becomes clear. His heart becomes steady. His identity becomes solid. And a woman feels safe with him. The real reason modern men struggle with women is not because women are difficult. It's because men have forgotten who they are capable of becoming. When a man remembers that, when he stands in his truth, leads with strength, loves with presence, and lives with purpose, he no longer struggles. His energy speaks before his words do. His presence becomes magnetic. His character becomes attractive. His life becomes meaningful. And women naturally gravitate toward a man who is grounded, confident, emotionally stable, and purpose-driven. Because deep down, every woman wants one thing: to trust the man she gives her heart to. And the man she can trust is the man who first trusts himself. In the end, a man's real battle is not with women, not with society, not with the world. It is with himself. When a man finally chooses to stop running from his fears, stop negotiating with his weaknesses, stop doubting his worth, and instead rise into the strength that was always inside him, everything in his life transforms. Women don't follow words. They follow the energy of a man who knows who he is. The moment a man becomes grounded, disciplined, purposeful, and emotionally stable, he stops chasing love and starts attracting it. He stops seeking validation and starts commanding respect. And that is the truth modern men need to understand. You do not get the woman you want by begging for her attention. You get her by building yourself into a man she can trust, respect, and feel safe with. When you evolve, your relationships evolve. When you grow, your life grows. Become the man your future demands. And the right woman will meet you on that path, not because you searched for her, but because your energy will make her find you.